Hi there, this is Self-Critical Automaton, and this is episode 20, I want to say 3 of my Let's Play of Resident Evil 4. And it's time to fight a boss. Just want to point out that there's such a lovely view from up here. You know, you can really see the beautiful countryside surrounding this tower in the middle of nowhere, I guess. Yeah, so, you ready to fight a boss? I need to get all pumped up. Time to fight a boss. Yeah, now is time for fighting time. Fighty fight. So, yeah. Gross.
Ah, you just missed her. The ritual is over. She left with my men to an island.
What?
I think it's time I paid my due respects towards your impressive and stubborn will. Mr. Kennedy, welcome.
This is nasty.
Monsters. Guess after this, there'll be one less to worry about.
I want you to suffer just like Ashley.
I find myself wondering exactly what he gets out of this.
That tickles.
I mean, it seems like he's made himself immobile at the very least. Am I even hitting that eye? So, this is his end game, I guess. Why he's made this peculiar decision, I mean, I guess he wants power, sure, but like, is it worth it to become a tentacle monster? Probably. Is it worth it to become an immobile tentacle monster? Probably not. Oh dear, oh dear. So yeah, he periodically grabs you and throws you down here where there are the little parasites. What I need to do is shoot him in the eye until the big him opens up and shows me his actual body when I shoot him. If he was planning on doing this, I don't see why he cared so much that I stabbed him in the hand. Or, well, Leon stabbed him in the hand. I guess it wasn't really me. So, according to the traditional parameters of game design, I should need to do this 3 times, but I think it varies based on how much actual damage I do to him in the time that I have before his big ugly face comes back. I remember this being incredibly difficult when I was like 15, so either this is a lot easier than I remember, or 15-year-old me was a real scrub. That was 3, I think. That looks like an attack. Nope, it's him showing me his face again. See, one of the convenient things about getting left click and right click... Is that it? Wow. That was anticlimactic, for me at least. I was expecting this to be difficult because I remember it being difficult when I was a kid. That was honestly easier than Chief Rasputin's fight. I'm genuinely surprised by this. In fact, it was easier than the xenomorph guy. He bonded himself to a xenomorph guy and a giant flower thing, which presumably has a connection to the Plagas or is some part of their life cycle. Because, you know, there's no other explanation for what it is or what it's doing here, but, yeah, that was... It can't be that easy, really? This... Well, okay then, I'm genuinely kind of dumbfounded. Oh, am I out of space? Okay then. Well, you know what the best thing to do is, when you're out of space, consolidate. Consolidate all your different weekly repayments into a single, easily manageable herbal supplement. Bear in mind, I am not any kind of a lawyer, so don't take my legal advice about combining your loans into herbal remedies. That's probably unwise. Holy shit, how did he die so quickly and easily? I got completely anything. I got so stuck on it when I was a kid. Huh. I guess Kid Me really was a scrub. Anyway, so that was the boss of... Oh, here we go again. I probably... Actually... It's pain for you guys to have to watch this, I guess, but I'm just going to reload everything and then see what I have the smallest stacks of and throw it away. Fantastic. See? That was clever. I'm clever. Still nothing to see from up here. None of this is lootable. And since we won't be coming back, I want to just check. Yep, I haven't missed anything. Have I? Nope, I haven't missed anything. Yeah. So, that problem was solved pretty easily, I guess. And as he mentioned, it's time for the island, which... That single snake was more of a surprise and harder to fight than that entire battle with what's his name. Can I just use that? Yeah. Gotta keep his protein up. So, this might lead to the mines, which is the next section. I think that the island is the final sequence in the game. So, yeah, there aren't bosses for each chapter, really. Well, I suppose on that depends on how you identify the bosses. But I kind of think of the xenomorph guy as not really being a boss. Exactly. I'll just leave that. I'm going to sell off some of these grenades because I don't actually need to have this many.
Got some rare things on. What are you buying?
Nope, nothing new in stock. Doesn't even have any first aid spray. Right, I'll sell off 2 of these.
Is that all, stranger? Is that... Thank you.
Then... I don't really want to lose tactical options by not carrying
Is that all?
everything I can, but
What are you buying? Is that all, stranger?
so this is the final upgrade for the Red 9, which I think massively boosts its firepower. Yeah.
Thank you.
And yeah, that wiped out all my ill-gotten gains, so... Right, yeah, so the first boss of the game is, of course, Chief Rasputin guy. And then, I guess this would be the second boss by that reckoning, and then the third boss is someone that I won't spoil. Actually, I mean, it's not like it's a surprising eventuality or anything, but, yeah. And then the fourth boss is the final boss. The xenomorph guy really kind of feels like... also, like... I like that there is a potential explanation for these torches. If you look, you can see it goes into the wall. These could be some kind of a gas lamp rather than a... You know, a wood-burning torch, but, aha.
Need a ride, handsome?
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much my reaction. How the hell did she get there? So yeah, if you think about it as going, I guess by chapters, there's a boss for each chapter, but the Xenomorph guy feels more like a environmental sequence, almost like the rolling boulders, rather than a you know, awkward.
Got some business to take care of. See you later.
Women.
Yeah, we do that. We do kind of just grappling hook away.
I hate to break it out to you, but Salazar is dead.
Yes, it seems that way.
Sadler, why don't you give up and let Ashley go home?
Perhaps you are disillusioned with overconfidence, just because you killed my small-time subordinate.
Sadler, you're small time.
No. Writhe in my cage of torment, my friend.
What an amazing comeback. No, Firelord Ozai, you're not wearing any pants. For, you know, timely references. But, fucking hell, also, you know, I like that he calls him his small-time subordinate, and he's a dwarf, I guess? A little person? I forget what the proper term is. Anyway, so yeah, this is the island now. After a while in the island, we take a dip into the mines, and then after the mines is more island, and then it's the end of the game. So, yeah, I don't really know what to do with that. Although I do think "Writhe in my cage of torment" is a fucking metal line. I really like that. It's possibly the only good piece of writing since your right hand comes off, which was, you know, just a work of sheer genius. So, I found myself wondering, was this a coastal nation? Or is this an island in a lake? Because we saw a lake and it was a pretty small lake and it didn't have any islands. So I do find myself wondering, oh. Yeah, that's definitely Ashley. So, we're heading into a big combat encounter here, if I remember correctly. With one of the only 2 man-portable firearms used by a baddie in the entire... Oh, fuck. I like that he doesn't look like he's, you know, surprised by the... He looks like he's surprised by the light at all. He's not, like, dazzled by the brightness. He's just kind of like, oh, I didn't realize there was a spotlight. Which I suppose is not unreasonable considering I just fucking jumped right into it. Also, here on the island, we finally see some new skins for the... That's the mainland, right? This must be an island in the lake. It must just be bigger than it looks. Yeah. Okay, so, like... Is the reason why there aren't any other guns anywhere else on the island is because this guy's using all the ammunition for himself? Some of these should make him feel a bit, poorly. I don't know if sticking multiple mines prevents him from getting properly hurt, because, you know, the second one destroys the first one or something like that. God, I've got so many of these at any rate. This game really does need a quick weapon swap. Oh, I shot his hat off. Fantastic. Because the really important thing when you're fighting giant men with enormous miniguns is it's really all about the morale battle. Anything you can do to make him feel worse about his situation is gonna be to your advantage. Unfortunately, Leon is too much of a gentleman to yell insults or anything like that, so he does refuse to use the easy morale option. However, shooting someone's hat off, definitely going to make them feel worse about themselves. But yeah, so here on the island you might notice we finally get some new skins for the baddies. And one of the things that fascinates me is that these guys actually all start wearing military costumes and, you know, army fatigues and military style camouflage face paint. But they're still using hatchets and actual goddamn Morningstar chain flails. See, this guy, he's got like a cattle prod, shock stick type situation. That seems like a reasonable thing for, like, a military looking personnel to have. Like, that's legit. Okay, fine. Why do you have that? And again, with the same wooden shields that they... Oh, now's not the time for that! That was close. The same sort of medieval-looking wooden shields that the monks had. So I guess maybe these guys are all like, you know, they're all inductees of this cult, right? Oh, I know what he's doing. Come on, there we go. So they're all inductees of this cult. Does that mean that as you level up in the cult, because that is how cults work, you go from like villager to priest to like inner circle purple robed priest, and then finally you get inducted into this, the pseudo military paramilitary organization, where they issue you with military fatigues and face paint but still no handguns. I don't think I'm missing anything. Can I smash this? Not that. This. Oh, I can. I'm not sure that smashing it actually gains you anything, really, because once you've been spotted, they still just keep coming, until you've beaten them all, which I seem to have done. So, yeah, time for another mirror puzzle. Unlike the previous one, this one actually, you know, does have puzzle elements. You are fiddling with things to try and sort something out. Yeah. So, excuse me. I'm actually pretty ill, so that my voice has gone this long without going all crunchy is, surprising, but whatever. Now, I don't have a map of the island yet, so I don't actually know. I can't tell when the next save point is. It's just occurred to me, everything I was saying about bosses is bollocks, because I've just remembered that there's actually like a couple more, so, yeah. Pretty much everything I say about the structure of this game is total bollocks, and you should ignore it, because I'm clearly an idiot. Aha, okay. I wonder what I'm supposed to do to solve this puzzle, huh? There's clearly a laser. And there's a big button, and there's some mirrors to bounce the laser around. I can't figure it out. What am I supposed to do? Well, what you're supposed to do is hit yourself with the laser. Yep, that's the answer. No. Obviously what you need to do is bounce it off the mirrors so that it goes back into the other big light. I also like the way the soundtrack changes here. The, like, oh no, tension combat zone music is no longer the sort of spooky, creepy music that it is in the earlier parts of the game. Here, they seem to be riffing on 70s, like, I don't really know what the term is, like pseudo-military TV and film. It's a very, the whole bongos thing is a very sort of 60s and then subsequently 70s, I guess, sort of thing. It's the kind of basis for the soundtracks of everything from the A-Team to, which might be an 80s property now that I think about it, to much earlier, the Thunderbirds and that sort of TV action. Yeah, I guess TV action shows of the 60s, which, like, is not an illegitimate intertext to make necessarily, but it does seem kind of inexplicable. It doesn't seem to be connected to. Oh no, who could have seen that coming? It doesn't seem to connect to anything, which is kind of true of a lot of this game. There's a lot of thematic elements that kind of just flap around wildly, searching for something to connect to. You've got, you know, you've got the pseudo-military, paramilitary cult stuff here. You had, like, Rococo splendor in the castle, and then you had the sort of, like, invasion of the body snatchers, village of people who look human but aren't really sort of thing. Hey, this guy doesn't know I'm here. Haha, I'm faster. That was pretty good. I actually feel proud of myself. This guy needs to get on my level. So yeah, the enemies in this zone are also more heavily armoured, I think, than the villagers in the village. I don't know for sure how that works out. I'm pretty sure it's just that they have more hit points. I don't think the game has any conception of armour values. Although, you can get an armoured vest for Leon later on. In fact, I thought you could get it by this point, but apparently not. So, we are kind of actually pushing up on time, and I still haven't found a checkpoint. Well, not a checkpoint, a save point, so... There's a guy with a shock stick around here somewhere. Ah, here we go. So yeah, even here in the culty place, their island fortress. There we go. Goddamn. Like the individual places feel relatively you know, they feel consistent within themselves. The village feels like a medieval village for some reason. Why it's that, well, not medieval, but you know. Feels like a rural peasanty village. Fair enough. I guess this is actually supposed to give a sign of the fact that this cult does have genuine ancient origins, but see, that art feels inspired by Mesoamerican art to me. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it feels that way. But this is, again, in Spain. And this isn't, like, a looted artifact that's been brought back here. And, oh shit, I've just realised I meant to stop this episode. I do like this. The implication that there was, like, a Tomb Raider-style trap here. That just has stopped working at some point in the last however many the fuck years it's been since this tomb, I assume it's a tomb, was made. Anyway, that's all from me for today, so bye!